Namaskar. Welcome back to the Azure Databricks series. In today's step-by-step video, we are going to learn how to create a catalog in Azure Databricks that pulls data directly from Azure PostgreSQL. I will walk you through how to connect Databricks to PostgreSQL using public access along with a private endpoint to ensure secure and seamless communication. You will see exactly how to configure the connection, build your catalog, and access PostgreSQL tables right inside Databricks, all in a real-world production-aligned setup. So make sure you watch till the end because I will also share pro tips and best practices that will help you avoid common mistakes when connecting Azure Databricks with PostgreSQL. And if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and colleagues who are working on Azure data engineering and Databricks projects. Let's dive right in and get started. Just click on Add Data here and then create a connection. I will name the connection as JB PostgreSQL, public access 12 October 2025. And then the connection type would be PostgreSQL. Let's click on Next. So if you see here, I need to get the PostgreSQL endpoint. So what we'll do is let's go to the PostgreSQL endpoint that's present in the Azure portal. So this is the endpoint. Before moving on, let's go to the networking and then let's look at the settings there. So if you see here, we have disabled the whole of public access, and then we will be using the private endpoints only. Let's head back and then provide the endpoint here, okay? And then what we'll do is let's key in the username and password. And once we provide the username and password, what we'll do is we will create the connection and then let's create the catalog as well. So now if you see here, we have the catalog name here. This is the connection. And then let's provide the database name, which in my case is Postgres. Yeah. Let's click on test connection. I'll use the all-purpose compute. Then click on test. We are getting this error. If you see here, it basically tells it is not able to establish the connection to the remote PostgreSQL database. Yeah. So now what we'll do is let's go back to our PostgreSQL here, and then let's create a private endpoint. Okay. So I will name it as PE PostgreSQL. Then let's click on next. And then we will have these things here. The target sub resource would be PostgreSQL server. Click on the virtual network that is next. And then here, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to use this particular virtual network. If you look at my previous video, this particular virtual network has got a pairing with the Databricks virtual network. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this particular virtual network. And then what I'll do is I will use this particular subnet, which is called SPAC. Okay. So for this requirement as far as production is concerned, what you can do is you can create a virtual network specific for this PostgreSQL. And then what you can do is you can pair that with the virtual network of Databricks, and then you can establish the private connectivity. That is you can create the private endpoint. Yeah. So let's click on next. Next. And then let's click on review plus create and then create it. Okay, it's getting created. Let's wait for it to complete, and then once after that we will test the connection as far as the catalog creation is concerned. Okay, so the private endpoint is created. Let's check that. If you see here, we have the private endpoint created. Now what we'll do is let's go to the catalog creation here, and then let's click on test connection. And if you see here, this time the connection is successfully established. So click on close and then click on create catalog. Okay, so anything related to the access, whoever needs proper access, you need to provide the required details. In my case, I'm the only user, so I'm not changing anything. Metadata as well, I will leave it as is and then click on save. So now, if you see here, we have this created. So let me refresh that once. And then if you see here, I'm able to see the required data here. So now if I look at the public schema, I have a table called table one. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is like, let me create a new notebook and then let me try getting some data here to see if it works fine. So let's start from and um, let me connect to the all-purpose compute. Then let me execute that. Let's wait for it to complete and then we'll take it from there. If you see here, we are able to query the PostgreSQL without any issue and we are able to see the data. Yep. Let's go back to our catalog here. And then we know that we are able to see the data without any issues here when we use the all-purpose compute. But what if we try the serverless? Yeah, let's try that and then see if we are able to see the data or we need to change something here. If you see here, we are not able to get the required data. So I'm seeing this error. When I look at this error, this is the error that I'm seeing. Yeah. So it's a bad request. So no, we know that we don't have a private endpoint created between the warehouse, that is your serverless, to the PostgreSQL. Let's try creating it because this particular deployment, as far as PostgreSQL is concerned, will support private endpoint. So let me click on manage accounts, go to the cloud resources. Yeah. And then what I'll do is like I will use one of the existing NCC that I have here, yeah, which is your network connectivity configuration. In my case, I will check this one, yep, and then go to the private endpoint rule. And then what I'll do is like I will create an private endpoint here, okay? So now let me go to my PostgreSQL, and then I will get the required resource ID. I'll click on this JSON view and then copy this resource ID. Let's head back here and then to get the target sub resource, I'll do the same thing here. I will search for PostgreSQL and then I will use this. Let's click add. It's created now and it is showing as a connection status as pending. So what we'll do, let's go back to our PostgreSQL and then what we'll do is like, let's go to the networking here. And then if you see here, we have this particular private endpoint in pending section. So let's approve it. Yep, it's getting approved. Once it is approved, we will be able to see a connection status of established as far as the Azure Databricks is concerned. Let's wait for it to complete. Okay, it is approved now. Let's go to our Databricks. And if you see here, it is established now. So what we'll do, let's go to our workspace and go to our Databricks workspace here. And then you have something called update workspace. And then if you see here, we have this network connectivity configuration. So you need to make sure like you are selecting the right one. In my case, it is JB Databricks Finance Store Rack. And as soon as we select it, If it is going to be a new one, then you need to click on update. Yeah, in my case, everything looks good. So what I'll do is like I will try looking at the catalog now. Let's go to the catalog. So it's currently refreshing. Let it refresh and then we'll check. Okay, it's refreshed. Now, if you see here, we are no longer getting that error. Everything looks good. Let's try it in a notebook as well. We have this catalog. Let's change this from all-purpose compute to a serverless, and then try executing it. If you see here, we don't have any errors, and with the serverless that we are connected, yeah, you're able to successfully query the catalog and get the data from PostgreSQL. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.